Some good reactions there, Galina. Um, I am totally outnumbered and underqualified to ask you questions about this film with these ladies present. Um, but anyway, if anyone wants to chirp in with a question, please do so. There is the chat as well. Um, Congratulations, Galina, again. You know,
Oh, thank you. And you are qualified. We talked about it already, so.
I know, but that was private. Um, I mean, I'm following on from Maul. I mean, this is great that these two have been paired together. It was a coincidence, but again, sound design and music. Can I ask you about that? I'm kind of obsessed with it at the moment, but again, the sound design, the mix with the music to give a different effect in this film, but used similarly. Would you like to explain how you did that?
Yeah, so with the composer Samuel Pegg, I worked together with him on my previous film, Gliding, and I really enjoyed the collaboration. We met through Back to Connect. We were both members at the time. And with this film, when I approached him, he had something personal going on with his life, which also affected, I think, the way he approached this project. But it was a very organic collaboration, I think, because I edited the film. I don't really use any temp music. I just send him, I just usually send the rough assembly to the composer. And as I'm editing, they're also thinking about ideas for the different scenes. So I just talk to them a lot about the feeling of what each scene should represent. And I just let them come up with their magic. Um, and I think the hardest scene to nail was definitely that yoga scene where, the pain unfolds. And we did several passes on that. And I mean, essentially, it was always the original sketch. It was just expanded, much more expanded to how it started. Um, and then that moment by the tree when there's some sort of self-acceptance from the main character and she starts drawing with the blood. That was also a tricky moment that we needed to convey with music, but he just nailed it the first time. With the sound design, I collaborated with Alex Bird and Tierney Spence at Harbor, which is a great facility, by the way. If you're ever looking for any sound posts, look no further. Um, so again, they were just very friendly and they understood the film right away. And we experimented a lot with the yoga scene again, what that should feel like. And they came up with some brilliant ideas with moving branches, for example. When we first introduced the film and that scenery, which is in her imagination by the tree, um, the first thing I heard from them were these sort of shifting, moving roots, which I loved. I loved that idea. So that came from them. And with the blood flow, when we introduced the title and those vignettes, again, they introduced some interesting elements there, like the heart murmur and some sort of the underwater experience. But also, again, we kept that idea of shifting branches throughout as a theme,
Mm.
sort of shifting roots. So that was quite interesting. I'm always open to ideas. That's the thing. When I choose to work with someone, I'm always curious of what they have to contribute, and I kind of let them come up with their own thing.
Mm.
So no wild suggestion is too wild for me. And
Yeah,
then we just test it and see how it is because I'm also editing the film, and for me, it's easy to collaborate with both the sound designers and the composer because instead of having somebody else sit with me and sort of send me sketches like an editor, I do all that myself. So it's very easy to see if something works or it doesn't work. And then we test it, we show it to the producers and sort of test the reactions.
yeah. The editing, you mentioned that a lot. That is an impressive part of this film as well. Do you feel that when you went into editing, something changed? Does anything change? Like something you thought that's better, or did it mean you wanted to omit anything? What from the script, the birth of the film to the editing, things can change, can't they? So what changed in the edit, either good or bad?
Yeah, definitely. I think initially when I was writing the script and sending it to different funding bodies and I was getting particular feedback, I wrote one particular gluing scene. which eventually I dropped because I didn't think we needed, because some of the feedback that I was getting, particularly from BFI when I was applying for funding at the time, was like they weren't sure um, how the female character feels about her boyfriend. So I introduced a small scene where she was observing him sort of exercising in the living room. She was sort of just gazing at him lovingly. Uh, but then I realized we didn't need it. So my instincts would right not, I shouldn't have wasted precious filming time for shooting it. But it's
Mm.
how it is. Sometimes you have to be brutal and you have to keep the film under 15 minutes and lose some stuff. I don't think we lose anything. I think we just try to keep it as tight as possible
Yeah.
and
That's a
let
good
it
question.
breathe at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point about the boyfriend because I watching it because I'm obviously I'm a man, but it's you do think, did he say the right thing there? Do I like him? Oh, he's being sympathetic. Like when you created this, did you want him to be likable, or did you want it to be both sides? Is that a good man?
Yeah, I wanted him to sort of feel, I wanted him to find himself in an uncharted territory eventually because um, I think what is happening in the film is the protagonist is going through her private struggles with her period, and they're in a new relationship. He doesn't know anything about it, so he's very nonchalant. They're having a romantic getaway. Um, and I think towards the end, I think he starts to, he's trying to be helpful. He doesn't quite know how, he's washing the sheets, probably
Yeah.
going to stain them. Um, but yeah, I think I wanted it to be this sort of conflicting feeling of a good guy who, is just doing his best under the circumstances, which is what most men would do.
Yeah, I think it's like a bit of an olive branch, wasn't it? But even when he said about the B and B, Airbnb, he's like, "Oh, you're pushing it." So it was a bit. The dynamic was very, but he seemed like a decent bloke, and he seemed a bit embarrassed at the end. So you sort of sympathise, but it's not his story, is it? But yeah, yeah, we don't have a lot of time, sadly. But obviously, we've got an interview coming, haven't we? We've done the interview, that'll come. Oh, we've got a question from Louise. Love the smashed pomegranate, but with it being linked to archaic feminine symbolism. The red food and flesh imagery is vivid and rich. Well, there you go. Bit of
Oh
symbolism
yeah, I love that
there.
question. Yeah, definitely. I think the reason why I wanted to create the film is I sort of wanted to externalize that struggle that goes on for women that have underlying conditions such as PCOS or endometriosis, um, and sort of what that feels like. I wanted the period to be a monster inside of you, just ready to burst at any moment. And the smashing of the pomegranate literally feels as if your ovaries are being destroyed. Um, especially when you have morning cramps that are really painful. Some of you might be familiar, some of you might be very lucky to never have experienced that. That's great for you. But for those who know what that pain feels like, I just wanted to externalize that whole feeling, um, and show how, especially when you're in your relationship, you want to have a romantic time together, but at the same time, you're going through this five painkillers a day situation and you're out of painkillers. So how do you survive this weekend and have a good time at the same time? Um, and yeah, we're also observing a woman in nature versus nature. That's a theme that I'm very interested in. And yeah, I
Yeah,
hope it came across.
it did. It did. And yeah, we've discussed obviously before. It is a really good film, a really good depiction of that. Especially without the painkillers, then you went almost like you tipped on horror, but it wasn't out of place. So it's really excellent. Yeah. So congratulations on that. Will we see you later on this evening? I know it's a bit late.
I wanted to stay, but I started this new job, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to stay this late.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Just want to ask. But if I have any questions from the audience in the later session, I will send them over and any comments. And same for you, Shari, as well.
Yeah, and I
Um,
just wanted to mention I really enjoy your films. So congratulations to Georgia and Sherry as well. So well
oh,
done.
super.